So with that weeding done, I just wanted to mention as well before I forget that actually as you're weeding, it can give you a really good indicator of the soil. So not only the soil type, obviously I can see that I'm working with really nice aerated soil mix, pumice or lava rock looks like to me. But as you're pulling up the weeds, it can give you a good indicator of the soil health as well. You know, obviously if you're pulling up things like vine weevil larvae or something like that, and you're thinking, wow, okay, that would change my mind as to, you know, as and when I was going to repot this tree. But on inspection, the soil looks really, really good. The presence of the Irish moss and things like that tells me that it has been getting quite wet, which is fine. These trees were left just outside, so that is to be expected. I get it on my trees sometimes as well. Next thing I'm going to do is I think this is a mica pot, so I'm just going to clean this up whilst I have it up here on the turntable, and then after that we're going to just inspect lightly some of this wood, see how punky it is and whether it's gone past the point of treatment or not. So let's just bring a bit of a nice shine to the plastic. But yes, WD-40 is fine to use on your pots, just don't spray it in your soil, obviously. So now before I look at branch selection, the one thing I'm really kind of quite nervous about is, you know, just how soft this wood is, because even if we are going to treat it, we need to get all of the organic material out of here, and there's a lot of build-up. There's a lot of build-up in here. So yeah, it's quite an enjoyable process, really. So yeah, I'm going to clean this up. And what have we got on this side? This hollow here, that needs to be cleaned out. And then this back piece as well. Look how punky that is. Yeah, so I need to get to the bottom of this as well and figure out. That's mushed. That is mushed. So yeah, that's going to be quite a fun process. I'll be right back. Okay, so the tree's changed a bit since you saw it. So we have had one casualty, which was this piece here. It kind of opened up the hollow inside, and I've found out / made the two kind of connect, which is going to help with drainage in the future. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going in just with a wooden chopstick, and I'm just seeing how far all of this rock goes, because I need to kind of clean everything out, all of the material, then I need to let it dry, and then once it's dried, then I can treat it. So we've got a deadwood preserver and a deadwood whitener, so that's just lime sulfur. But that's a preserver hardener. What I don't want to do is force this to collapse, because I think that would add too much change. I don't want to change too much yet before I really understand the tree. It's quite fitting because tomorrow is actually Halloween, so you know, this is quite a spooky looking tree now, isn't it, with this huge gaping hollow in it. You know, I didn't anticipate that, to be honest. I didn't think that it would go that far in. So I'm back on the Privet just for a minute. That rhymes. I'm doing a little bit of carving with the Dremel, and I thought I'd bring you along. So I'm going to set you up just so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm basically taking out all of this. It's going to be quite hard for you guys to see, but I think I'm just trying to take away all of this punky, soft stuff and kind of expose the hardwood that's underneath. That is a new experience for me and very, very fun. I like that, but I really don't want to get too carried away. So I don't think it'd be very exciting to watch, but what I'm going to do is take this outside and just thoroughly water it through, try and get all this punky dust stuff off, and then clean out the actual inside of the hollow. And then I've got a lot of cleaning up to do in here now as well, so that's going to be fun, isn't it? So yeah, after a pretty good blast through with the hose, you can kind of see what we're working with here. Wow, that carving bit really eats through that old wood. That looks awesome, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, so I'll give that a few days now, possibly even a couple of weeks to really dry out. So already, you know, just getting to know this tree, I can tell that this is a tree that's been worked on, and the primary structure is all there, which is super exciting, because it means that, you know, in a couple of years, once this tree has been tamed a little bit and we work that back, it's gonna be really rewarding very quickly. So luckily these branches are pretty flexible, and I've got pretty much all different gauges of wire now, luckily. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is what you would do with any tree, which is just real simple selection, you know, cutting your 3s to 2s, any obvious elongated branches. There's quite a bit of dead material as well in here, so I'm just going to be cleaning up some of that. I really want to just put the camera down and enjoy it, but you know, I have to take you guys along on the journey for these trees. I owe it to you, I owe it to Alan, and you know, we're going to do it together, so let's get on it. To wiring this one out. By this one I mean the whole tree. But again, as I'm going through and I'm pruning these branches, I'm also looking for any signs of pests, disease. You know, I'm trying to read the tree. You know, my trees in the garden that I've had for a long time, I can tell you what they're doing, how they're feeling, what their plan is going forward. Having this experience of having a tree being brought into me is totally strange, because I don't know this tree, and I need to get to know it very quickly. So here's a good example. Hang on. So I'm just pruning this dead stub back, and I noticed something white behind the leaves. So, you know, I'll just inspect that further. And that looks like some sort of small creature's nest, which, you know, no offense, I don't want on my tree. Will it harm the tree? No, probably not. If I hadn't have caught that, would it make a big difference? No, probably not. But it was more just an example of things that I'm looking at whilst I'm doing this work. You know this one as well, look. It's been dead for quite a while. Now we could gin those, but with this amount of lovely deadwood feature, I don't really see the point. The thing I'm noticing straight away is that actually, if I really want this tree to look its best, I need to commit to a full wiring. What makes me think that is, you know, if I want to cut this back to, I don't know, let's take something like this, spindly growth as an example. You know, if I want what's best for the tree in the long run, I'm going to need to cut this all back, because this is way too long of, you know, growth with no foliage. So if I do that, the tree is going to look so bare, it's going to be a big shock. And you could argue that's best for the tree, but actually, to be honest, I've got a lot of bushy, short growth on the bottom pads, left and right. It's actually only at the apex and the midsection that I start to get these long leggy bits of growth, and that's something that I think I can work on in time, not something that I really want to rush. I do have some big choices to make. For example, this big one here, is that something that I want to wire? Is it something that I want to eliminate? Because We've got 3 branches coming out of this point here. Do I need to pick one? You do that. And the best way to decide all of these big decisions is just to stick some wire on and see what's pliable and what isn't. Whoa. Before we get into the next part of the Privet video, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor. That sponsor, as always, is me. I just wanted to let you know that I've resized the emblem on the Bonsai Cornwall hats slightly smaller so they fit on this turn fold. We are now in the dead of winter, so perfect time to get a hat. These hats cost £10. Follow the links in the description to get an email address for myself and get yours today. Lastly, real quick, a very good friend bought me this pot using the links in the description through my Amazon wishlist page. You know who you are, thank you very, very much. If you look on my magnificent bonsai pegboard, we've got concave pruners, knob cutters, and then here, these are some pliers I got in a furniture kit from IKEA that I work perfectly and I love, but it would be nicer if they looked like this. And this is electrical pair of wire cutters I've had for X number of years, can't even tell you. And again, would look better if they looked like that. They are on the Amazon wish list now, if you would like to support me and make the pegboard look a little bit better. Okay, now with that out of the way, sorry about that. We need to do 2 things. We're going to lime sulfur the deadwood on the privet, and the second thing we're going to do is just tweak the wire, especially around the apex area of the privet. And then we're kind of getting close to being able to wrap this video up until spring. What do you think, guys? Quite a transformation on this one. Yeah, I mean, how much work have we really done? We've cleaned, de-weeded, and then we carved and let it dry. We've treated it with deadwood hardener all on the inside of this hollow. And I thought that was going to be it until next year, but nope, those naughty Christmas elves made me bring it in and we wired it up. Because I knew that once that apex was in control again, that this was an absolutely amazing tree. And that's truly all I've done here with this one, is I've just brought it back to where I think it needs to be. And trust me when I say the silhouette of this now is absolutely beautiful. I know you'll agree. I'm in love with the branch structure. We made some big changes. We cut this dead branch back. We got rid of a big one here. We got rid of a really big one there. And just overall, really taken care of this tree and brought it back to this lovely conical form, which I'm sure whoever first designed this tree, I'm sure that's what they had in mind. I'm sure that you will have already, but press that subscribe button because we're going to be repotting this monster in the spring. We'll see if we can get it into something smaller, but to be honest, this is a really nice mica training pot and I'm not sure that it quite has the ramification for a final pot, but certainly it deserves a ceramic. Please let me know your comments on this one. I'm opening this up to the universe that is YouTube. So far the U video's done really well. The Korean hornbeam didn't do as well, and the introduction to this whole playlist didn't do as well as I thought it would on YouTube. So if you're watching this video or you've come from the U video, and please go back and watch those other ones as well, because it will just explain this entire story of where these trees have come from. And let me know, what would you have done differently? Would you have done anything differently? I'm really keen to develop the apex on this side now, but now that we've really done as much as we can, it's time to leave this thing alone and wait until spring comes. And lastly, a final treat for those of you wondering this entire video. There we go. Now the video is done.
If you enjoy the videos and you'd like to support the channel, please consider following the links in the description. Here you'll find links to the Amazon wishlist. This is the best way to help the channel. Alternatively, you can buy these t-shirts. Please email or DM me to find out how you can get those. Lastly, the easiest way to help support the channel is drop a like on this video and please press the subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. Thank you so much.